live. Hello.
Perfect timing.
Hello, lovely.
Yeah, my camera wouldn't work at first. I don't know why.
Oh. Oh, did I not have a post scheduled for Facebook when we went live? I didn't. I'm dumb. Oh,
Buenos dias, muchacho lattes.
never mind. There's no
What?
we're live now, Megan.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, who's in the chat? We got jury rigging and adaptive batteries. Love you guys. You're incredible.
Half of us are looking at our phones right now.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like scrambling.
I am on an iPhone on the phone.
Bonsoir, Novelli.
Novelli, my love. Why did this not post? Okay, post. Tumblr isn't doing its job. There we go. Thank you. I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, guys.
When has it ever done its job, though?
So, how
Never.
about that hidden sanctuary?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of all of it.
Same. Oh, man.
What am I fucking doing?
This
That's one.
this episode somehow weirdly felt like a season 1 episode.
It did.
It
Indeed.
did. It's like going back to its roots. And especially since
I think
Cassandra was like...
Cassandra was doing that. She was going back to what makes her a librarian.
It reminded me a lot of the episode where they had their ideal lives in Cecily.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little.
it does. It does similar.
She's not
is
an
it the same
astronaut who
place?
sits the moon like 8 times. She's the librarian.
And she doesn't have straight hair.
Oh god, that straight hair was my sexuality.
It's so not Cassandra because she's so not straight. It's true.
Sorry. I'm laughing because Megan just told me she's hungover. I love her.
I think we made that straight hair joke in the live stream for that episode.
So is anyone else coming, or is it just us?
It's just us. I was gonna ask Megan to come. She's like our resident Cassican shipper besides Aaron and Renee, and I was like, we should have someone just for the heck of it.
Honorary guest.
And Aaron was at work, and I just didn't think to ask anyone until about 5 minutes ago, and I just DM'd Megan. I was like, hey, you want to come on a live stream and scream about Cassicans?
It was good this episode, though. Like, for sure. Like, probably my favorite
had so
Cassandra
many-
Jenkins episode.
Like, it was a good dynamic. I appreciate it. And like him calling her to ask about where something is, I feel like that happens a lot, like in reality. And not even just like as he was doing like as a cover up to find out what was going on for Eve. Like I feel like he's called her before and been like, Cassandra, where is this? Like I
100%.
appreciate Kate Wolf always writes their dynamic in her episodes, and it's just top notch, good quality content.
Please excuse my eating.
My gosh, how could you?
Okay,
Nom,
so
nom, nom, nom.
Actually, you just reminded me I have Twizzlers. I'm totally eating Twizzlers.
I got snack nuts.
is Megan coming, or is that a no?
Megan is not coming.
Okay,
Megan is
so
hungover and doesn't
what
have
are-
time to get ready.
What are we gonna talk about first, then?
I don't know. If you want to start to talk about something, because I know you had your huge list.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, now I have to choose. Okay,
Just go.
I
do
think
it.
the most
Remember.
notable thing, like visually, is definitely the directing, like the camera work and stuff, like especially
Not even just camera work.
in the.
Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, when she was like breaking down and having another panic attack or whatever at the end with the town and how like the zoom in and stuff, it was like high quality. It was like extreme.
This part. This is why I thank God for Noah Wiley every day. Legit.
I loved the episode he wrote. This was awesome, and then this looked great. It just looked great.
I was also going to mention, because I don't know how many of you guys know, because someone posted on Twitter, and I can't remember who, that, whatchamacallit, wow, my brain shot, that little sequence, the blocking of the mayor knocking into the marching band, and the marching band knocking over the painters, and the pies flying on the car, and the car hitting the thing, that was all Noah.
Yeah, it was.
Ulrich wrote in the script, I can't remember the exact words now, but it was like, something happens and everything goes to hell. Have fun, Noah. She literally wrote it out. Stage direction.
Make one of the
script. And
what
Noah
are they called? Those machines.
What was that?
What are the machines called that are like that? That they cause a series of events and out of random objects.
Rube Goldberg.
No, well, yeah. But no, there's a specific name for a machine that you make out of a sequence of accidents.
A Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, Ruby Goldberg. I didn't hear you glitched, and I was like,
oh.
Yeah, but that's definitely what that was. That whole town was waiting for that to happen.
It was pretty wild.
Is anyone else glitching horribly?
I'm fine.
Me.
Just fixed it.
Here.
Time to switch to phone.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I knew someone was going to mention Noah directing, and I'm like, oh my boy.
Okay, I also saw on some of are they the A team or the B team? The stand-ins.
It's B.
For the main
A team is, or it's first unit and second unit, I think. Or maybe I'm
whatever they call themselves. Eve's stand-in apparently was the one they did like test makeup for this actress that they hired to play the fairy originally because they were going to have a live action actress do it, but then they chose to go CGI, and it must be her voice, but they were going to have her like be live action, and that makeup looked really cool. I don't know if anyone saw that, but the makeup department, you know how good they are.
They're always great.
It was so great. It was black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah, with some red, I think.
Yeah.
Like silvery. Kind of a bluish silvery, you know. I don't know the
great. Salty.
Because the phrase I'm confused. I think it's second team.
I was a little salty because when they said there's a fairy helping them, I got really excited, thinking that it was Ariel, and it was not Ariel. It was not. It was very far.
I'm sorry.
Ariel.
That would have been so cool, but actually, I kind of liked seeing another fairy.
I did too, but I was very excited.
I really wish we could like see multiple fairies at once. Like the way we do fairies is always the one that's been trapped, and I think it'd be really cool to just visit like fairies as a whole, like going into one of
the Phalanx.
Yeah, like a Phaland. Like that'd be so.
Yeah, at the start I thought we were gonna get more fairies, but it just.
Yeah, how one fairy's doing all of that, that's impressive. But, it's a fairy. But I thought it was multiple fairies at first. Me too.
I also appreciate it. I think they use different pronouns for the fairies. Sometimes it's the same, but I heard Sylvia, I think was the name. The older woman with the curly hair. The one that was jealous about the pie making recipe. She said, how do we stop him? But they gave the fairy a female voice in like persona, which I thought was interesting. So they still kept that gender fluidity that you see.
Dozer, you were not invited. Go away.
Dozer's always invited.
No. Oh, now he's trying to come.
Bring him in. Do it.
Dozer. Dozer is the new team mascot.
Oh.
No.
I want to talk about a dog right now.
He's mean.
Yeah.
Mine's really bad.
Nobody just mentioned Jenkins and his new glasses. Yes. Shout out to the glasses.
It's really weird though. Why did he need glasses? I mean, why did he need new glasses? He already had glasses.
About it. He actually has worn glasses before. Like specifically
twice.
But I think they're just trying to make jokes at this point. about him becoming human. Like we know from next episode that like complaining about that whole thing that I
You need
can't
to use the keyboard dozer.
Yeah,
Maybe he needs to change his glasses for
They're
Or
making a bunch of old age jokes to make us fall in love with this old man character, and then they're gonna rip him from our arms and kill him.
they were talking about the next. I keep talking about other episodes. It's like probably the one they mentioned that like, not only is two librarians' lives at stake, but also Jenkins, which is scary. I don't think they're gonna kill him. I prefer if they did.
I really hope they don't. I really want John Larroquette to continue.
Maybe the glasses that he used before were just for show, and now he needs actual
It's probably like
glasses.
Yeah, I was thinking it was just for aesthetic reasons. Why he was wearing glasses.
very dramatic.
I mean, to be fair, he wore
Well,
glasses.
he needed to like, anytime he went out in the real world, he had to pretend to be an old person. You need those cover-up glasses.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think if he was wearing. No, he wasn't wearing them when he picked them up. Now I'm like really. I don't know why.
At the end of Loom of Fate, and he took them off. When Eve said thank you, he took them off. Something like that.
Yeah, who
It's just
knows?
for dramatic effect.
Apparently, yeah. Look at that.
In the words of Novelli, Jenkins is extra.
It's canon.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, he is.
Yes, definitely.
Our brain shot. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about. No, this episode was basically a wrap up on Lindy's arc, which I appreciated. Like we've addressed and solved her issues with wanting to be normal and not knowing if she could live a normal life. And now we know she's anything but normal, and thank goodness for that. That was literally the best line of this whole episode. Can I just say that? And they
Cassandra has kind of become like the main lit as far as screen time and amount of character attention goes, but and also she's the most powerful character in the whole show on purpose, like Dean said.
Yep.
But I hope that we get more about how Ezekiel feels about this whole dispute, because he doesn't have the same problems Jake and Cassandra have, which I find interesting. Because Jake and Cassandra both had 2 episodes right after each other, basically, that were about them dealing with any of the doubts that held them back personally from being the librarian, and he doesn't have any doubts, allegedly. So, but I just don't want them to completely ignore his role in this conflict. So,
honestly, I think we're going to get that either in next week's episode or in Trial of the One, because we've been talking about how they were blocking stuff in that promo we saw in all those pictures.
yeah, that's where, But Trial of the One is my favorite, is my most anticipated, I should say.
Yes,
Episode. That's what I'm excited. I'm really hoping they do fight. Someone punch
I
someone.
mean, especially after reading the description for it, I think of all of the episodes, if they're going to reveal that he remembers anywhere, it's going to be there.
Yeah. But I was thinking about what you're saying about, Jake and Cassandra's doubts. The fact that they both want to be normal. That's really their whole doubt. That they want normal lives. Because, Jake wants to settle down with a woman and have kids and do whatever. And Cassandra wanted a normal life where she wasn't burdened by her tumor or her gifts. But Ezekiel's never had a normal life. And I think that's half the reason why he's so okay with staying at the library.
And he doesn't want one.
Really thing. What was that?
And it's interesting, the Ezekiel-centric episode we do have, the Christmas Thief. It's revealing that his whole life has always been about other people.
Mm-hmm. And he's also... he's always been...
He's basically been the librarian, kind of, already, his whole life.
Yeah. That's why he got a letter so young. It makes sense.
He is Indiana Jones. He did get it the earliest, and he is the one true librarian. I believe it. If there was one, it would be him, I think. Because Flynn's time has passed. He was the one true librarian, but they're obviously transitioning him into more of a Judson-like role, which I know Maggie is excited about.
Jerry Riggin just said something really interesting, which I'm I'm here for this. They just commented, Ezekiel has found what he's searching for. The others haven't gotten there yet. I mean, I'd argue that Jake and Sandra have gotten there now after these past 2 episodes, but that's when it was when we got to the beginning of this. because Ezekiel was looking for a family and a home, and like an environment that he didn't have because he never had a normal life, and this was the closest thing that he got to like a happy life, I think.
This is even Ezekiel are the kind of the same right now. They both have no doubts about the library. They believe if they're inside the library, then it is good. Well, they're there at least, and they've embraced all of its flaws and otherwise. Both Eve and Ezekiel, and they don't really want to see the others go, but they're prepared to stay, and they don't want to be alone. I don't think. And Eve has abandonment issues at this point.
You could see it in this episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
freaked
god.
out when Cassandra was about to leave. Oh my god, she looks so scared too. And this is all Flynn's fault. I'm gonna be real.
And the Trial of the One specifically talked about deciding which librarian is going to bond with Eve and become immortal. And and if it's not Flynn, if there's a plot twist and it's not a romantic coupling this time, then it could be Eve and Ezekiel. Like, I'm just saying, like, if it wasn't Flynn and Eve, Flynn didn't come back.
Yeah.
Didn't want to tether or something, Like, if he still doesn't want to tether or whatever, I think, if anything, Eve or Ezekiel, or even, like, Ezekiel and Jenkins, or even Jenkins and Eve, I also think Jenkins might tie himself to the library to become immortal again. Or maybe Cassandra will, because maybe she wants to be immortal now, because she doesn't want to die. You don't know. A lot of stuff could happen. But I think what we're talking about is the willingness to be with the library and, the satisfaction that in your life that you get. And we saw all the way back in season 2, in the Happily Ever Afters, that Eve and Ezekiel are very different from Jake and Cassandra when it comes to what they want. And I think that that's exactly that's the same resonance that's happening right now. You know what I mean? Like, this reminds me of Happily Ever Afters, because Jake and Cassandra, they want, they're idiots basically. They want the whole world, and because they never got anything. They're like, I want a pony, and I want to go to the moon, and I want to do all this stuff at once. And their imaginations are so wild, and that they're so consumed with all this stuff they haven't been able to have or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas, and they're kind of self-absorbed, both of them. They really are kind of selfish, because not selfish, but kind of self-absorbed. That's different, because Jake's always been kind of ignorant of other people's bad, and Cassandra's bad with people in a different way. But both of them, they aren't, even Ezekiel have already dedicated their lives completely to other people. Like, it's who they are. So it's easier for them, I think.
If it is,
I think it's mostly because of their backgrounds. Because Ezekiel has always been like a people person. He's always hiding himself, and Cassandra is just hiding herself too. So they're not used to having people around.
If it is Ezekiel, that will be one of the great character full circle arcs ever, because thinking, like, that's a very, very permanent thing, and he is not a permanent person.
Except he is now.
I know, that's what I mean by, like, that's a great arc from season 1 where he doesn't want a job.
I want to point out something, though, especially because of this episode, since we're talking about this. At the beginning, right before Cassandra left, Ezekiel was, like, talking about being the only librarian again. And Jake was, like, he seems very against the idea of Ezekiel being the only librarian. Like, he straight up, like, told Cassandra, like, there will always be a librarian as long as I'm here, which I obviously need around. But neither Jake or Cassandra seem fully comfortable, I feel, with Ezekiel being the only librarian.
And it's because they don't actually understand who he is, because he lied to them.
Yeah.
He lied to them, and he was, and now he's trying to be his full self more without explaining himself, really, he's still, as Dean said in the blog, he was still holding on. He made a whole new face basically out of his old self, and that old self always talked about leaving eventually and wanting to have, being irresponsible on purpose. And he's never, actively, denied that. And now he's starting to say, I really care about this, but I don't think they believe him because they don't realize they don't realize he remembers. They don't realize how much that they all care about each other. Obviously, they're all they're stupid with people. They're bad people. Okay, that's why they need each other. They're so dumb. They just don't really understand people.
I wouldn't even say dumb. I think you put it best when you said selfish. Because, but I also think that they didn't really have the chance to be selfish growing up. Like, Jake had to hide who he was, and Cassandra had her constant, death over her head when she hit, high school. And, I can imagine...
And she had to please her parents.
And she had to...
both of them had to please the parents. Both of them.
So,
I mean.
I can forgive them for being this way. And, I understand it. But I feel like this is going to play a heavy role in later on episodes. Especially seeing this now. There's something going on with the two of them that's different than what they have with Ezekiel. Even though they both, especially after this episode, have, accepted who they are and that they're part of the library.
But when they did that, they were actively giving up stuff they genuinely wanted. And Ezekiel and Eve aren't everything they want. And that's, even if you decide to give up your life for something, at the end of an episode, that's just what Flynn did, basically. That's what Nicole was talking about. She was like, it took your life. This isn't, and people who want identities outside of the library like that on such a fundamental level, they're never going to be happy. And I wonder if they don't survive as long, perhaps, that's why the library brought them in the first place.
Or they don't survive very long because they're too into the library, like Darrington.
Mm-hmm.
Or Darrington in his first time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It changed, and I feel like the end game is still going to be them changing the rules or whatever, maybe, and having a happy ending, and everyone gets to stay or whatever. That could be their MO. But at the same time, they said this season would be different.
That's true.
And it seems like a way more serious and logical conflict than I originally thought it would be. I thought it was going to be kind of shallow, but these really are, because if, like they said, if they were only invited to help him stop APEP, that makes complete sense to me. That does make sense. I thought that there can't be multiple librarians thing wouldn't make sense, because I was like, the library invited them. Overruled. But now I'm like, oh, I guess maybe they will. Someone will leave. I don't know. It might. And then again, it might change. And like we said, that cornerstone thing, we haven't got much more evidence on that, I think.
We have gotten more people being related to artifacts. Because Eve just got connected to that pinecone thing from last episode. But we haven't really gotten much.
Zero Seed.
That was interesting to me, that episode. It seemed random, especially its timing and especially with its timing in this series before all this Civil War stuff. And plus the Tree of Life and the Tree of Knowledge and stuff at the heart of the library. And the library could be destroyed if it came into full being, like they talked about in the beginning of this season, and now they have something that powerful, like the Zero Seed or whatever, but they're supposed to protect it in case that forest falls, so they can't use it to, if something happens to the library, they couldn't use it to fix the library, could they?
The library, the heart of the library is the
I just feel like it was suspicious. That seed was suspicious when the heart of the library is a tree and has a forest and all this stuff is going on.
I didn't think about that.
I felt like that was...
I mean, I don't think the show in the past has shown itself to do something like that. The last time they did anything similar to this was season 1, when everything
Luma Fate
was Luma.
But they've called back so much to season 1 this season more than any other season.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I have a theory that they're going to bring back all the artifacts in the last episode.
But did they take the typewriter? Because they connected to the type. They did take the typewriter?
That reminded me of the book. I was like, that fairy tale book, something that can alter reality. It can't alter their reality, but it can alter a fictional separate reality.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. I feel suspicious. I feel like there's something going on
There might be.
that we haven't quite picked up on. Like, cause that's the thing. I usually analyze so much, I pick up on stuff. And when I was first watching Librarians season 1, I lost my mind at the last episode because I was like, this was so obvious. Why didn't I realize that they were going to use all these? It blew me away because it seemed so obvious, but it wasn't when I was watching it, I guess. And so, and he definitely said the Cornerstones will be back in the last episode. So they have something to do with the end game of who's going to be at the library.
We haven't had any of the lids connected to any of the artifacts, right? It's just Jenkins, Eve, and Flynn.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to happen eventually. Like, they're just releasing them as episodes come. We still have, like, 5 more episodes to get through. I'm sure someone will be connected to something this next episode. Actually, this would have been a good episode to connect Cassandra to something. I wonder why that's But,
the pie.
I was going to ask, what do you guys think of our boy Freddy?
Yes.
Oh, I love him.
I love him.
He's the real Wonder Librarian.
Yeah.
Like, plot twist, Freddy shows up and he's like, get out of my house. Yeah. Get out of my house.
I'm ready for him to...
And then his mom is like, what's going on? His mom is the guardian.
Oh my god.
Text me when you get to the library. Text me when you enter the annex.
My mom, when I went to Portland.
Literally, if his mom was a guardian, oh my god, the librarians would be doing nothing. She'd be too scared.
She would be wrapped in bubble wrap.
But if they have a new generation of lids. Okay.
Freddy is one of them.
Yes.
Bye.
Freddie and Amy, please.
We've talked about
please
this.
Bring them on.
Lucy, Amy, Freddie, and
Jamie.
And the kid from the clown episode.
Oh, yes.
Oh
Yes,
my
that
god,
kid.
Mini.
Mini Ezekiel. Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
More librarians.
Jamie, because
than ever.
If it was season 5 and they started like a librarians academy, I'd be here for that.
Yes.
That would be so cool. And they just became this like
And
branching organization.
that would be a throwback to the original movies and the original function of the library. Because for one, way back in the heyday, if you know your library lore, they had a bunch of scholars. They had there's one librarian, but they had scholars that were kind of like Jenkins and Judson. Judson was the head scholar, but there were others, And that's where the Secret Brotherhood came from. They used to be part of the library. And not a lot of people know that, actually, because it's only mentioned in an extended scene in the first movie. But I had Maggie cut it out one time. I think it's on her YouTube still.
Oh.
I was like, people need to see this scene. It's important. And you were like, okay.
It was also in the novelization. It was also in the novelization.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
It was pretty good for some new fans.
Stop. But
on that note, I actually have to go. So
thank you. That's such a good note to leave on.
See you guys. Bye, chat. Love you all.
Bye.
I've been Serpent Brotherhood trash since I was like 6 years old, so it was new. Yeah, I loved them. I was like, those guys could beat me up. I was so excited when they were in the first season. I was like, yes, the OGs.
I'm like,
I want them back. Like, they're still around. Are they? What do they feel?
I'm currently staring at the footage of Cassandra, like, freaking out and flashing back and forth between the town hall and Ecuador, because, like, that was on a circular dolly track, and I love it so much. It's beautiful.
Also, just in general,
I love the circular dolly scene in Graves of Time with Eve and Nicole in the crypt. That's my favorite.
Oh, yes.
That's my favorite circle scene this season. That was gay.
Thank God for trademark librarians now in my mind at this point. Anytime I see a circular dolly track, I'm gonna.
And it's so great because it does like the round table effect, right? Like, cause it does that.
Yes.
It, like, cause with King Arthur and all that in the library, like, it definitely does that effect, and I love it.
It's beautiful.
One day we must all stand inside of a circular dolly so we can have our own intro. You understand? I can do it.
A freaking 90s
if we
intro.
ever meet up.
That'd be beautiful.
If we ever meet up. Like,
Cassandra's outfits in
Any
this
of us can afford to
episode
buy
were so good.
dolly track and a dolly.
No.
We'll rent it from Electric Entertainment.
Hey, can we use your circular
We have
dolly?
$20. No. And they'll be like, slam the door. They'll slam that leverage door that they keep around.
Oh my god. I was gonna say something and now I don't remember what it was.
Cassandra's outfits in this episode were the best ever.
Especially the one she had for the town hall.
the last one.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
I'm
the
so gay
favorite
for that.
outfit of all time.
I don't know how people can
I'm so gay for the outfit.
They're so cool. Like no
Yeah,
one in
I'm
real life
so sick of that. Like, what's with the sudden Cassandra outfit hate this season, everyone? Like, a bunch of randos just showed up in the fandom and were like, we hate her outfits. And everyone's like, do you have eyes?
Her outfits are so great. How many days do you think she stayed at the town?
I think it was
Sometimes
like
like
I think it was like a week.
Must have been around a week.
Yeah, she
Long
had
enough
5
to get to
outfits,
know
right?
people.
We get like 3 outfits of her in the town.
It was
3? No, 5,
they were mentioning
We have her original coming in.
yeah.
Well, what about the random, like, montage sequence? Like,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. There
Okay,
was, like,
hold on. I have to
5.
play the montage sequence. I'll check. So we have her first day.
I like how right after like the first time I watched, like, you see the montage sequence and you think, oh, she must be here for like a month. It's what I thought. And then he walks up to her in the library after. He's like, you've made quite the impact the last few days, because she's like done all these festivals.
Yeah,
And I'm like, she's too much.
this is what happens.
Overachiever.
Okay, so we
Overachiever
got
Cassandra. We all
her
know,
cutting the
we all know
ribbon
Cassandra is an
for the
overachiever.
science corner, and then the pie competition. That's a different outfit. And then
like
her conversation with Weeks. She's got the magenta sweater, and she helps him put up the posters and tell him to ask out Carla. And then it's the
I'm glad Matchmaker Cassandra is a reality.
yeah,
Yes.
it's cute.
Yes.
And then she's got the green blazer outfit, and then it's the green sweater when she leaves. So we have 6 outfits.
So
It could be like she's there a week.
because they mentioned the inventory week and they were still kind of doing it when she got back.
So she couldn't have been there too long.
why are they doing inventory anyway?
Who knows?
Are they seeing whether they've lost anything again?
It was 100% just an excuse to keep everyone else in the library so she could have herself.
I also think they're just digitizing everything. Wasn't that our theory?
Yeah.
I bet Ezekiel was
Yeah.
like, listen, we need all of this on a computer. I
That
can't do it
actually
anymore.
makes sense. Because we have that weird
I really hope they.
Christian with the laser, and I'm like trying to look and see. There's nothing really that points to what exactly they're doing, except that they're just doing inventory. It could also be like they do it like once a year for all the new artifacts, and they make sure they all get listed down. Like that could also be.
But it seems like they were old
don't even get
artifacts.
started on, what was that? The cataloging the Dead Sea Scrolls throwaway line? No.
Maybe that's why.
No. If you're
they
cataloging
lost a
stuff
few
all the
things.
time that you already have, or that you, I don't know, I'm mad.
They've lost stuff. So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
could,
I think
case.
they're digitizing it.
they're doing something.
I really hope they're digitizing it. Like put the library in a cloud.
I'm so confused.
The library is in a cloud, so the inventory should be in a cloud. It's the 21st
It is,
century,
yeah.
y'all.
Okay, that's another point. Not to be a tinfoil hat kind of person, but that's another thing that stood out to me. Just one of those scenes that stands out. And it was early on. I think the very first episode, perhaps, when they were explaining why the library can't become reality. Explained it to Ezekiel in like a way he would understand, but the way they, described it as, a computer system for the first time, as opposed to like a forest or something else, it's a I don't know. It just stood out to me, especially though since Ezekiel was the one to be like, "Is that bad?" Because it reminded me of the Wonderland episode where Ezekiel was like, "You're paranoid."
I remember all the episode names. That's why I'm just like, yeah, Trial of the Triangle.
Trial.
But I don't want to say all the words.
Trial.
I remember them too.
Okay. I forgot what I was gonna say.
But now there's 2 Trial episodes.
Trial of the One. Yeah. Let's just call it
Trial
Triangle.
Trial of the One we already established as Wizard of the Waverly Place movie.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Waverly Place movie messed me up. It emotionally traumatized me.
Same.
Well,
We're all gonna be
get ready to
fine.
be emotionally traumatized a second time.
I don't want to die in 2 weeks, guys. I don't need that.
Who do you think stood up in the writer's room and was like, "So, who's seen Wizards of Waverly Place?"
That didn't happen, but I wish it did.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making it up, but it would be funny. Someone was more likely someone was like Hunger Games, because we know for a fact someone was like, "We should do the Lorax for the Disenchanted Forest."
Yeah,
So-
Dee brought that
Yeah.
up. Just Forest in the writer's blog. That was the funniest thing.
Through the trees.
Oh my god, he said he looks like Han Carbonite, and I was like, oh my.
Oh,
When
yeah,
I
that
first
was
saw
the
it, I really thought it was. Yeah, I really thought it was like the Han Carbonite because the hands and all that.
Yeah, no, that was 100% the inspiration for that, which I thought was really cool.
Mhm.
Oh, this show is made by a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, I know, right? I love it.
But I want
But
to
I'm
bring about
surprised nobody. If Flynn had been there, he would have been like, "Dr. Seuss, where are you?" You know? Yeah, he would have. I'm surprised Jake didn't recite it. He's probably never read Dr. Seuss because it was too below his reading level. Because he was born with an IQ of 190. He just read it, the Greek alphabet when he was a toddler or something. You know, like he's never read Dr. Seuss.
for certain.
I just
Green eggs and ham, no?
we need a fic of Flynn being there for a team building camp
Oh,
so
that was,
badly. Even though him being there would
That would just be everybody beating him up. I think.
oh my god, what
Like, yeah, it would be them putting. They would.
Yeah.
Ezekiel wouldn't even bother putting a sleeping spell or anything on him. He'd just toss him into the lake. He'd be like,
Yes, definitely. He would. He would.
be like, eat. I like how done they are with Flynn. Also, when Ezekiel said, "Do you think he left with Nicole?"
I want to
man.
you guys though on what you thought. This episode had one like more than any of the others we had this season had one really prevailing theme, and like that whole idea of like fear and what it means to be afraid as a human. Like, do you think that made the episode a little more cheesy, or did you like?
I thought it was pretty relatable.
Was so relatable. That
So
breakdown, that breakdown Cassandra had is just me.
Because, you know, I used to have, you know, anxiety attacks that were just, like, so bad I would black out and stuff. And so I was, like, every time she started freaking out on screen and they would, like, zoom in, I was, like, mood. That's the mood for my freshman year.
And I just like
She
the
overcame
way
it.
that because I appreciated that like they had, you know, Councilman Weeks being afraid when he was a kid, and that's the reason why the fairy got captured, and Cassandra being afraid of her not being able to be a librarian properly, or just being afraid in the moment of failing, and that's why she went to Havenport, and like Freddie's mom being scared, and then the fairy learning what it was like to be afraid, and the whole town being afraid. I don't know. I just
The fairy being afraid just reminded me of that meme.
the fairy being afraid actually made me kind of emotional, because like.
So look at it, just gave me anxiety.
Cassandra's like whole speech about like that cold shiver and everything, like that killed me. I don't know why. Like something about it was just really powerful to me.
I know that feel. Oh my god, so bad. I know that feel.
I didn't relate to the cold shiver line because I was like, I've never felt cold when I'm scared. I get hot. But I guess that's me. I feel like
well, I don't mean literally like a cold shiver. I just mean like the fact that it's such a human experience, and like this is what's happening to this fairy. And it's so fear is one of the most powerful things that we feel as humans, and like I just think it's interesting that now we finally get an episode that tackles the idea of fear.
You know, I just realized something. Jake's stuff lately has, you know, he's like the romantic. He's all about, you know, love of one form or another, whether or not it's romantic or him, you know, with his love of humanity and poetry and art and stuff.
He's always been the romantic.
He's a romantic, you know, love. And then Cassandra is afraid. Her stuff is really centric on fear and overcoming it and stuff. And then Ezekiel is, you know, he's so angry now, but it's like this back and forth between always calm and angry and I'm not quite sure where he falls.
Clear development or not clear development, but like clear struggle.
He's so confused because, you know, they are dealing with stuff so locally and they get so much screen time with it and stuff. And him dealing with stuff,
most of what we get with Ezekiel in like his terms of like his like heavy coverage is more just figuring out who the heck he is. Because we don't even really fully know who Ezekiel is at this point.
See, that's the difference. Everyone else is trying to figure out who they are, and we watch them go through the journey. Ezekiel doesn't have a journey to go through. He knows who he is. It's everybody else that's like
trying to figure out who he is.
And that's his mom. We know that his mom taught him that. She's like, yeah, of course you wouldn't know me, stranger. Like, you look like Cassandra totally looks like a square, so I bet his mom was like, yeah, I know. Like, you look like the most narrow person on them. But then she went and helped Ezekiel pickpocket.
Friends. But
what was that? Like,
she was totally gonna say men, but let's not get into that.
That was too much.
Yo, can we I'm gonna screen share for a hot minute. This
Are you gonna show the under table shot?
I am gonna show the under table shot because it was Noah's favorite and it's my favorite.
It's my favorite. It's so pretty.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. It has Peter Pan right in the center too.
The quilt and everything, like the colors. I am here for this. You can't see me right now, but I'm doing the thing where you cover your face.
She looks like a powerful lesbian businesswoman in this outfit. You know, like that's what she looks like.
I mean, honestly, it's probably on purpose. I was just talking with Novelia about it in the chat because she said she doesn't like that lace top because it ages her up. I think they probably did that on purpose to note that she's being more mature and taking charge and overcoming her fear this episode. The fact that it's like an old outfit with like the whole business like jacket and everything. Like, it's a
and the muted colors as well.
And the what?
Muted colors. Like it's all like plain.
She was pretty like.
It's not her.
Well, she's working as a librarian for one thing.
She was pretty pastel this whole episode up until the end.
The maroon one.
The library, except for the magenta sweater. That one wasn't. Pastel.
Yeah.
But like they went for muted colors this episode, which I thought was interesting.
She's trying to be normal, guys. She toned down her outfit wardrobe.
Except for the magenta sweater, apparently.
She had to show it one way or the other.
Oh, actually, no. It's really like a bit of color. Hold on, I'm gonna screen share again. They're still sticking to like the muted tones because
jury rigging says the lamp is from the library.
Wait, what? Oh my God, was it?
Yes.
Wait, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. That was the first thing I realized. That was from the library, the reading room library.
Oh my God,
the reading room library.
It does look like one.
Mm-hmm.
I could go pull up an old episode, but I don't feel like it. But that probably is 100% what it is. I thought he meant one of the ones from the annex or jury. I don't know what your pronouns are, jury rigging. I'm sorry, but I thought
the reading room.
You guys meant one from the annex because I was like, no, those are like the weird handmade ones with the light bulb.
Oh yeah, those were so weird.
Those are so
They're
cool.
painted colorings.
I mean, they're cool, but also like they don't make sense in any normal environment. So that's why I was like, "What do you mean they're from the library?"
We would
The
know.
reading
Like,
room.
Yeah, no, I do recognize it from the
Queen of Hearts.
broken grass with the green hearts.
Her magenta sweater wasn't that extreme though.
No, oh yeah, I was gonna point it out, and then I got distracted that she's wearing lavender underneath. So like they're still sticking to the pastel tones, and this one just happened to have a little more color, but it was still like a white purple underneath. I'm looking to see what she had on her bottoms.
Councilman.
Oh yeah, and like a black skirt. Like it's all muted tones because she's trying to be normal.
And also, she was trying to be different.
What'd you guys think of Councilman Meeks? Like any strong opinions about him? Because like I think he's just interesting as a character.
I think he was pretty interesting.
I think he was pretty interesting because he didn't really. I don't think he understood what he was doing. You know?
Yeah.
He had pure intentions, though.
The fun thing about this episode is the fact that none of the other Wits and like Eve weren't there. We basically got to see these other like more developed guest characters, and we because like Penelope, like she had her whole thing going on. Like she eventually took charge of the town, and like she had like something going on. Carla and Councilman Lee. I don't know. I feel like we got like a whole bunch of diverse characters this time around, and it's really
Jenkins, imaginary boyfriend to the rescue.
Oh, I forgot I'm still screen sharing. Did you really just say imaginary boyfriend to the rescue?
Well, I mean, he wasn't there.
That whole scene was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but like she was just tripping out.
I mean, if we're talking about boyfriends, can I mention the fact that they did this? Where is it? When she turns and you see Jenkins waiting at the lamppost. The last time we saw someone waiting at a lamppost was Eve waiting for her friend in Eternal Contract. And that had like, romantic connotations to it too, even though she was eventually like,
that was my favorite shot.
We really can't do anything. So like I just thought that
it's also just a romantic trope in general.
Yeah. Like I just appreciate that they did that, and then he like helped her with her luggage. Like they're not backing down from the ship. Like kudos to them. They didn't take.
I'm so glad. I love caskets.
Okay, but I am upset because I feel like we're not gonna see Estrella or Cindy this season. And I'm like, that's all I wanted.
Rachel let us on, man.
Yeah.
They probably have plans if they have a 5th season that they both come back.
I hope. Well,
but we're definitely not.
But it's just like that means that like Jake got his thing, but it was just I didn't really, like he definitely did. He just doesn't. Ever since Mabel, he just does not have. Ever since season 1, he just doesn't have the romantic, stuff that he had in season 1. Because in season 1, he had pretty good romantic tension going with both Lamia and Mabel, and I thought that was good. But I didn't really feel it with this new chick, and I felt like
they both died.
If they weren't gonna have any of the the rest of them have romantic episodes this season, they just shouldn't have had that. I felt out of place. But not that I didn't like her though. But like without the kiss, I'm like it didn't really feel like their hug in the end was accurate. It was weird. That weirded me out when he wrapped his arms around her. I was like,
yeah,
what are you doing? I was like, don't do that. It looks so awkward. Like if a man ever did that to me, I'd break his hand. I'm just saying that right now. If a girl ever did that to me, I'd probably break her hand too. But that's just me. But I feel like that. I hope that they don't. If they ever did have Cassandra and Jenkins be together, I feel like they would look cute doing that because they have the height ratio. Jake and that girl did not have the height ratio. It was weird, but I feel like they might look good, all cuddled up like that. But yeah, I thought when I first saw Kayla is her name, the mom. I was like, is this gonna be gay? But it wasn't. But still, I still ship it. It would have been cute.
Did we lose Maggie?
Her Wi-Fi crashed.
No.
Should we talk about the next episode? It's already 10 to 1 hour.
Oh, yeah. We don't have very many pictures to look at because there's no promo pictures.
But we have a sneak peek.
I'm excited. So we think Ezekiel gets possessed. Or Ezekiel and Jake. We're pretty sure that they're either under some sort of influence or they get possessed. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, by the two brothers.
How much can I say? I was there for the shooting.
You're like nervous. You're like, I don't. But then again, the thing is, Space aired the Town Called Feud episode instead of the proper episode.
That's true.
This week, and a whole entire large country with a lot of Librarians viewership just saw that episode, and I talked to a few of them, so it's kind of already out there because they're talking about it. So this episode's kind of already been spoiled for the whole world, because like when we would get spoilery stuff from countries like Spain or whatever, like it was easier to keep it to ourselves, I guess, if we chose to. But there's so many people from Canada online who don't care. They're like, yo, guess what happened? And I'm not, so I'm like, it's probably doesn't matter anymore. Like there's nothing that you could spoil that a lot of people haven't already seen or heard about probably. So just we'll try not to spoil like anything big. You know what I mean? I'm excited for the hat. The hat. I know Maggie is too. I'll speak for her since she can't be here in summer.
Yes.
We're all excited for the hat. We were excited the minute we saw it. When we got there, we were like...
It was the best thing ever.
It's just gonna be weird watching that episode after being on set for like one scene. It was only one scene that we watched get filmed, really, but like it's gonna be ridiculous. Seeing that scene! Watching that scene.
I just saw some of it in the promo, and I tripped out. I was like,
yeah,
I was because when the background is what was the weirdest because you were there, and you're like, you're like,
did you guys see the
sneak peek? We were like,
you're like those trees.
Did you guys see the sneak peek?
My eyes also laid upon those trees in person.
Also the sneak peek. Because we were in that set.
Yeah, we were in there. Oh my gosh, it looked so good at the end.
Yeah, there was no furniture when we were in there. It was
and they were like, don't touch the walls.
They were still painting the walls. There was no furniture in there yet, but we were in that set.
Oh my god, did I ever tell you guys that I was actually terrified to go in there, and I almost stopped when he said that. I almost stopped and didn't go in there because my back hurt so much. I was so afraid I was gonna fall over and hit the wall, and there'd be this big smear of paint, and I would never go. I was terrified. It kept rolling through my mind. It was every step I took that hurt. I was like, please, 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 no. And I was like, I kept looking around, and I was like, which one of you is strong enough to catch me? But I didn't want to say anything because the guy was talking about, oh my god, heart attack. That stuff was scary, like terrifying. I had to process what he said to us later because I was like. But yeah, it looks so good. And I love the lighting that they're able to get from windows in sets like that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Maggie's back.
We're talking about the skeleton crew.
You guys on my phone. I don't know why.
Skeleton crew? No.
I completely
watching Star Trek.
That was so weird. Okay.
But Maggie,
I'm back.
The set. I
know you guys are talking about. We saw the Franken set.
Yeah, the Franken set.
Is that what you're trying to remember?
Yeah, I've been watching too much Star Trek, so I'm like the skeleton crew, and I'm like, what?
No, skeleton crew. Skeleton crew.
The Franken set.
In the mold.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I fixed myself. But
wait, do we have any Do we have any Frakes episodes this season? Did he come back to direct any episode? Oh yeah, Silver Screen.
Silver Screen.
I'm sorry, I can't remember things right now. Oh my god, I just freaked out. I thought Nancy, like, the way my little screen was, it looked like Nancy was behind me. It's like, how did you get here?
I teleported.
You appeared in my mirror like Jenkins. Oh my god, I have a huge mirror. Imagine if Jenkins showed up in my mirror.
Oh.
Nancy is our Jenkins.
That's what I loved about that episode, actually, when Jenkins was like trying to show up in the mirror and Freddie saw it and he's like,
Who's the old guy in your mirror?
What was that?
And I love that Cassandra has a lot of connection to that, because when she did the ghost thing, that was hilarious. And back in the third season, when she was trying to connect to the mirror herself on her own through a mirror in the hotel, I thought that was awesome. She was like, I'll do this myself, but then it didn't work.
Are we thinking that next week is going to be the Ezekiel focused episode?
I was actually going to try and play the promo. Or do you want to play? Should I play the sneak peek episode or the promo? Or are we going to do both?
Just promo first and sneak peek.
Okay. Let me open up the promo. I don't know if there's anything in the promo that we actually got to see still.
There was one shot.
Is her saying, could you guys tell us about ghosts? Was that in our scene? I could go check.
No, it was the scene from the...
No, I was just in the
No,
chat.
I think it was.
I'm totally not pulling out my slides. Hold on.
Be careful, don't show anything.
Da, 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 da. Where is the line that I always use to identify? Bit of animosity, huh? Oh, spoilers. Here it is. Yeah, she doesn't ask anything about ghosts. I think that's afterwards, after Jake and Ezekiel leave. But let me play the promo first. Okay, this is gonna have watermarks on it because the only one that's out is from Spoiler TV.
Cool. Welcome to the annual reenactment festival. Could I ask you a few questions about a ghost?
These fake reenactors aren't so fake anymore.
The Librarians, all new Wednesdays at 8 on TV and the
This is so meta because I saw them pointing guns at each other. Like the military pointing guns at each other. It was so cool. And I was standing behind the tombstone.
Can I talk about what John told Alex and I? I don't know if I can. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna wait until.
Well, you can
when we're off
write
air.
about it in the messenger and tell me.
No.
We can talk about it off air.
I was talking about it before.
You think I remember?
And the thing about our current president.
Oh, jeez.
I think this. I'm still more convinced that this is the episode.
I've been waiting for a Trump joke, so I hope. I've been waiting.
Now I might
Look at that hat! Oh, Abraham Lincoln, I get it. The guy on the side, I'm like, that's a big hat. Ezekiel steals the hat.
Oh my
Someone draw
god.
Ezekiel in that hat.
Oh, did I accidentally just like tell you guys when I went to go look for my side?
Yeah. Yeah, kinda.
That was
Kinda.
unintended. But
I enjoyed it.
well then, okay.
Okay, but I remember when we went there, and internally I was like, what? It seems so out of place that they were going to a Confederate reenactment place, a Civil War reenactment. I was like,
I think this is just a classic the clippings.
That shot though, the scene.
Now it
that
makes
scene.
sense.
I think this is after.
It's like it's in
Yeah,
the same. It's the same. It's like a next scene after.
It's like Jake and Ezekiel leave, and then she's talking with them. I think that's what it is.
Guys,
But still, it's
we were there.
It was shot when we were there.
I think this was a later.
I
I think this is a later. I think this is a later scene.
This is not the scene they were shooting.
No?
No, it's not. Because she was asking, "Have you guys? Do you want me to read
They must
the
have been
scene?"
shooting it after we
What?
left. Because they weren't done.
Something they shot before or after.
They took lunch.
Yeah, because they took lunch when we left.
They probably shot this after when they came back.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Yeah, what is she saying?
Festival. Could I ask you a few questions about ghosts?
Do you think this scene is before or after the sneak peek?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
I think the woman in black is their mother.
See, I was talking about that before. It's got to be someone related to the two of them that like watched the feud, and like mother would definitely parallel well with them.
And she literally looks like the stereotypical woman in black, which is like a type of spirit, which is usually a mother that lost her child somehow.
Oh, is this?
I know who that is.
Like it's a thing.
It's
like a thing.
I know who that is.
What we saw was scene 15. It still could have been something they shot after. It depended on whether or not, like, what was John and... Oh. Okay. They called it, they shot it after. Because they called, Rebecca later than John and Christian. I look at the one looking at their sides right now. Okay. But yeah, that scene, that one line was not the scene that we saw, but it was the same location. Should I play the?
Okay, so that established.
Sorry, I got really distracted trying to figure that
out. Like it didn't make sense to me when we first got there entirely. I felt like I was like, why are they doing this? You know, why are they doing this setting? Like it was cool, but I was like, I wonder what this is about emotionally. You know what I mean? Because I always have something else going on, and now I get it because, you know, Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War. So it's kind of like a prelude.
It's a Librarian Civil War. With the Civil War.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. This one's the sneak peek. I'll just play this guy.
Okay, so there's no ley lines around here. What would make two ordinary Lockhart students two magical Lockhart?
I have a theory. This whole town is based on the legend of the Loveday brothers and their mutual people. The town even changed their name because of it. This locket is a symbol of their story.
Like a religious artifact.
Yeah, except this artifact is fueled by the hate and anger of these two brothers who never want to be reunited. But he unites the two halves of this locket against the brothers' wishes and pull happen.
It's bad stuff.
Get it out fast before tomorrow.
Just steal it. Dang.
Get down a notch, Jones. Get you power of words.
Give yourself.
I can't open them.
Can we talk about Jake's freaking line? This is bad stuff. It made me laugh so much. Oh god. This is bad stuff.
I have a feeling that there's going to be some animosity towards Ezekiel this episode for some reason. Solely because of that throwaway line of Eve being like, take it down a notch, Joan. Like, I feel
he's super excited about it.
Because he's been like, he seems like he's excited, and he's also been like more aggressive as the seasons have been going by. So like, I don't know, something might happen with that. Also, City, can I ask, is this what you saw? Like when you caught them filming, you said you told me you saw them holding guns to each other. Is that what you saw?
Yep.
So they were that. So I bet this stuff was like the last thing they shot. Because this
was on the day. Yeah,
we were there.
Yeah, this was on the at the location itself. It was on the day after Alex left.
It was the exterior, because the exterior is usually the actual locations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was what you saw. Okay.
So, Yeah, so it was on the day after Alex left. I was there by myself.
Oh, I thought Alex was there with you and they were just in the car downloading. But that was when you were at Mount Hood?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, we I went there twice.
Oh, you okay? So you
I went there twice.
got
Yeah,
it.
so the first day I went, they were in the car. And the second day I went alone because they already went back.
Also, is that a cigar in his mouth?
I think so. I don't know whether it's a chocolate cigar or a wafer roll or
Have a cigar.
something. Why does he have a cigar?
Because he probably just picked it up. It's a souvenir cigar, you know?
Wait, I thought he was just using that on something like a tool. What is?
I don't know what it is.
No, it's a cigar.
I think it's a chocolate cigar.
So confirmed.
What?
Ezekiel doesn't do hard drugs, but he loves a good cigar. Okay, that's fair.
We're overtime.
He's like, tis the season, and they're like, it's summer. He's like, exactly.
Well, technically, it shouldn't be summer yet because of the vernal equinox and all that. It's just like the summer solstice. So it shouldn't be summer yet.
Oh man.
The beginning of summer at least.
So this episode is obviously dealing with Jake and Ezekiel the most. Like, they're dealing with their, and they are closer now. They used to have a lot of animosity, but they're closer now. But they still don't really understand each other. And right here, this scene that Maggie is on is about, they're talking about how that their idea that whatever is happening is about bringing the two Locket halves together, or that's whatever this bad guy is doing or whatever. Like, that's bad for some reason. But I feel like it's in their formula, as Noah would write. It's in their formula to be like, oh, this is gonna be bad. But especially with the way Jake said that line, he's like, oh, bad stuff. Like, the way they kind of throw a little bit of humor in there, it makes me suspicious. It makes me feel like it's not a bad thing if the Lockets come together somehow. You know what I mean?
I think it's when the Lockets come together they get possessed, but that's just me. I also only
spoiler, but I don't want to say it.
If that's what happens, if it comes together and they get possessed and they need to destroy the Locket, and they need to destroy it, I feel like maybe... I feel like that seems like the high-stake kind of situation where that's when Jake and Ezekiel are holding the guns to each other's head to stop the other from destroying it. And that's what my predictive mind says, that, you know, and like maybe one of them will shoot it. She's freaking out.
Yeah, might wanna...
I just said warm or cold.
I know the end of the story because I was there when they were filming. I think that was the end of the main plot.
Oh,
of
you
the
know
episode.
the whole thing?
I know the ending of the story.
Oh, I'd be like dying if I were you.
Okay. But so do a lot of other people because they saw it in Canada because they aired that episode instead.
That's true.
That's
true.
Just tell me warm or cold about what I just said. Oh, you're just okay. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Okay, can we theoretically talk more about it since it's already been shown in Canada?
I feel like we should still try to avoid directly spoiling stuff, you know?
Yeah.
But if we slip up or we're a little close, it's not
you were very
as
close
big of a
to what I know and what City sent me, so that's why I'm like, oh, shit. But
what? I didn't hear that.
Like, remember the video I sent you? Like, we know it's, like, Eve's gonna yell at someone to destroy it.
I feel like, yeah, it's a high-stakes situation at the end, and if they need... I feel like one of them's gonna shoot it. That's what's in my mind.
I don't know if
it's gonna be like, Pachow! Or one of them's gonna... What if one of them has the self-control to shoot it, but the other one doesn't and shoots that person instead, and then... But while they're possessed, and then they... When the other feel awful, that would be... They'd be like, oh no, I shot my friends.
if we're thinking in terms of how this show usually operates, I think that woman, the one in the red blazer, she might be asking her to destroy it.
She might be the woman in black, maybe. She seems important. She's definitely connected, perhaps.
Either way, we should probably wrap this up because we're getting too deep, too far.
We're like,
Yeah.
What's gonna happen?
We're into Electric Entertainment might be mad at us territory.
We can't say that much. We don't know. We just speculate.
Let's hope Dean doesn't see it.
I honestly hope one of them gets shot. I'm just gonna say that. It's like, I'm like, give me the wump. I want Jake to shoot Ezekiel because Ezekiel has way more willpower. Ezekiel just has the capacity to resist a possession, I think, more than Jake ever could. I just think
Honestly, I just want both of them to get shot.
Yeah, I want Jake and Cassandra to get shot in Trial of the One. I want Ezekiel just to be like, chow, chow.
Okay. We need
one true librarian.
We're gonna end on that note. Wanting to
him out.
Shot.
So,
I'm so sorry to everyone watching that you had to hear that.
I'm not.
I'm kidding. But we should wrap it up because we're getting too deep. But
next Wednesday, 8 p.m.
Can I say something important about the episode? Okay, because like the slavery allegory, the town was guilty, and I liked that. I just like how the town was guilty this episode.
30 minutes ago.
I didn't say that. I could have said it though.
Okay.
But I didn't say it specifically. That was my favorite part. Was the town was guilty.
Okay.
It was the best part. That's how I feel towards the library. They all suck on some level, so they need to get over it. That's the ending note.
So now
everyone's a little bit.
All right. So next Wednesday.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We're a mess. I apologize. And
we are.
Don't forget to watch next week's episode, Wednesday, 8/7 Central. Live tweet with the hashtag. Tag.
Hashtag the librarians.
Hashtag librarians. All that fun stuff.
And if you're Canadian, if you're gonna spoil stuff for people that want to know stuff, at least do it in private messages. Like, don't try not to go posting stuff. Like it's common courtesy.
I don't think anyone Canadian is even watching this right now. Is anyone Canadian? Who knows?
I don't know. They might watch it later. Time zones.
Okay.
Canada isn't real. End call.
That's where we're gonna end it. Canada isn't real. The end. Goodbye.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Canada's a hologram.